Hey guys, welcome to Tyranny! My name is GamerZach, and Tyranny is the new classic Western RPG by Obsidian. It's Obsidian. They make good games. Now, there's a few things that draw me to Tyranny. Now, I did actually play a little bit of Pillars of Eternity on my channel. Just a bit. I did a 3-part Let's Play, and I never got around to playing it for the channel. But I did finish the main quest of Pillars of Eternity off air. I just played it by myself when I was free one time. And that main quest took me about 20 hours. I thought it was going to be longer. It took me 20, maybe 22 hours to play through that Pillars of Eternity main quest. Not the expansion, just the normal vanilla main quest. So I assume Tyranny is going to be something like that. Now, I thought of a way to keep these long RPGs a little organized for the channel. Now, live, what I'm streaming is going to be main quest only. So what you're going to be seeing on the channel is I'm going to go part by part, quest by quest. So as soon as a quest in the main quest line is over, I end the part there. Take a break, go on to the next part. And any side quests, I'll be playing off screen. Now, I know some of you might want to see me play the whole thing in a very raw way, but I'm sort of, I like doing main quest only Let's Plays. I think it's a nice way of organizing something that can be very difficult to understand. Anyway, Tyranny, you guys are in chat asking me to be the bad guy. As far as I understand, everyone's the bad guy in Tyranny. You can't be the good guy. And if you've seen my how I value and how I review games, my rating system, moral ambiguity is something I highly value in any piece of media, and Tyranny seems to be trying to be the definition of moral ambiguity. Anyway, I went through the options just now, just to get things set up. Can have a quick look through. I mean, graphics options, is this all the graphics options we have? Like, I mean, it is a classic Western RPG. But this first part is pretty much going to be character creation, isn't it? So let's get things started. We're not going to do expert mode or Trial of Iron, because as far as I understand, it's a new sort of system. Story mode is pretty much you just play the story. I'm going to go for normal, because I am not particularly good at these games. We're going to go for normal. Here's Tyranny. Look at that. I'm hoping my face is in the right location, but we'll see once the interface comes up. I usually assume there's things in the corners. Characters become wounded when their health is significantly... Oh! I guess we should remove my face, right? That doesn't work.
For over 400 years, the armies of Kairos the Overlord have swept across the known world. All who stood against them fell before their might. Even the Archons, women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and 2 of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Narad, spymaster and archon of secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die. Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kairos' Ironclad Legion has never met true defeat in open battle. Watching over the 2 generals is Tunon, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kairos' minions. Tunon brings Kairos' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlord's laws. You were among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands.
Sounds like an RPG starting up to me. We're going to be picking our character here. We're going to go for... not too many options here. And I do want to sort of try and get through character creation in a relative amount of time. Let's go right down the middle there with the skin tone. Okay, so there's gender roles here. Okay, so basically, as far as I understand the story, just based on the trailers, we are one of Kairos's inquisitors, sort of thing. Which is why I'm wearing red today. Not an accident. I picked red for this stream, because we are... It's Tyranny. Everything's red. Everything's red in Tyranny. In the Northern Empire, where you were born, men enjoy equal protections under the laws of the Overlord Kairos. Okay. In the southern lands of the Tiers, only men may own or captain ships, but real estate is restricted to women. Men may lease, but durable ownership of the land in the Tiers always passes to the eldest daughters or sister. Most sons enter their father's profession by their mid-teens. Those without a profession or family lands to work can find purpose by pledging service to one of the Overlord's mighty archons. Criminals, derelicts, and others are often conscripted into the armies of the archons. If a child cannot forge his own skein, he will certainly find one in battle. Alright. It pretty much explains both in... Oh no, while following the parents' profession is standard, many women choose to pledge their service to one of the Overlord's powerful archons. Those without a viable trade or lands called their own are often drafted into armies, so they also join armies. Okay, and there's two big factions there. There was basically the disorganized people and the organized people. Easy enough to understand. Face and hair. Okay, we just got some presets. Okay. Let's pick something. Is it just these 5? Oh, we can rotate. It doesn't really matter. We're probably going to be wearing a helmet or something, right? I like this one. Let's go there. Hair. Okay. Hair we have a few options here. We got a scroll bar. What looks... Ooh. Now my hair is just sort of that kind, right? It's just sort of... I mean, it's a little... I put a bit of gel in it, but... I used to have this hair. Back in high school. I had center parting. We could go for that. I tend to like the messy look. Just like that. It looks nice. Looks a little edgy, but not too edgy. Okay. Facial hair? Ooh, what facial hair? Things I can never grow. In case you couldn't guess. This is almost the limit of what I can have as facial hair. In real life, I mean. This is it. So, do I play me like that? Or do I play the opposite of me? I think I just usually... I'm just gonna go for that. It's fine. Portrait. That's a decent enough portrait, but I don't plan on playing a roguelike character. I never play... do they all look like way overconfident? Like they all look... I don't know, he looks a little unsure. But besides him, I think they all look a little too sure of themselves. Yep, all the females look a bit too sure of themselves as well. It's probably just a personality trait required to survive in Kairos's lands. So, I don't really know what kind of character I'm gonna play. I usually play a little bit of a spellcaster. But I think I'm just gonna go for that. You can't really tell if he's holding a short sword or a long sword. That's kind of the hair I got. It's fine. That's good. That's good. Welcome to the stream. Mark Tunison, Rogue Ninja, Dizil, Crazy Newt, Sajuk's Let's Plays. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for moderating, Sajuk. You guys can check out Sajuk's channel. Anyway, hair color. Let's go a little... Ooh, can we go red? Oh, we can go red. Let's go red. We're going very red today. I do not have red hair in real life, but we're gonna go for it. Voice.
That wasn't so hard. Quiet down. My wounds are slowing me down. See that? It's a battle!
Okay, male noble. I usually go for the noble voice. I just aesthetically sort of am drawn to a noble voice.
You learn something every day.
Alexander Grigorjevs says, "Notice me, senpai." Duly noted. Duly noticed, rather.
This will be fun. Ah, got it.
Masake Inoue.
Quiet down. I'm injured.
Pony Desu. Yep. I think we're going noble. We usually go noble.
Trouble is afoot. Good work! You learn something every day.
It's Soldier 76.
Got it. Quiet down. Right.
We're all soldiers now.
Huh. Trouble is afoot.
We're going noble. Tattoos. This is Tyranny. We gotta go tattoos. We're gonna go red and red. I know, red. Ooh, we could go red and black. That's very nice. Red and black is definitely a good one. We should definitely get tattoos. This looks very, very Tyranny. These sort of geometrical shapes here. This is just a hand on the face, okay. This is, I skipped leg day, so I got tattoos to make up for it. I skipped arm day, got tattoos to make up for it. What's this one? Is it just on the hands? Just on the hands? Just the left forearm. That's kind of cool, but I want something a bit more noticeable. We're probably going to be quite zoomed out. This is just flowers on the back of the calves there. Snakes around the legs. That's kind of weird. This is a bit overwhelming for me. I'm sure I saw... there's a bit on the chin there. I think. What even is that? Is that like an octopus? I kind of like this. Just a little tribal, little geometrical. Yeah, I think I'm going for that one. Yeah. I like this the best. We're going for that. Now, do we want red and black or black and red? I think red and black. What color is this? Is it just like a dark red? Ooh, that's a nice subtle difference. This dark red is better. Yeah. How about this combo? No, this one. I like this. Perfect. Oh, so there's our progress up the top there. So we're currently on appearance. Now we're going on to history. Now, what I've heard about Tyranny is it has a feature that I heard about first, which was planned to be in the original Fallout 3. So Fallout 3 was supposed to be, I forgot its code name. It was supposed to be made by the original people who made Fallout 1 and 2. And turns out it didn't happen that way. The original Fallout 3 didn't really happen. It sort of ended up as Wasteland, I think, or Wasteland 2. But there was this feature that they talked about, which was... it was like during character creation, you could make choices of which cities were nuked, right? And when you picked which cities were nuked, your game world would change based on where you nuked. Like if you said, let's say I'm gonna nuke California, for example, then when you play the game, California would be a wasteland, whereas other places would be affected by that consequence. So, from what I understand, somewhere along this character creation screen, we get to do that sort of thing. Now, we just finished our appearance of our character. And the music does sound a bit loud. I would lower it a bit later. How did you join Kyros's army? Oh, there's a lot to read here. Pit fighter, hunter, guild apprentice. Now, I'm not going to read all of these, but I'm just going to do a top 3 here. Soldier's usually the usual. Guild apprentice, war mage, diplomat, noble, scion. Let's read soldier. Unable to settle the year's accounts with grain, your parents offered you as a tithe to the overlord instead. Seeing your first battles as a child, you've known all your life how to fight, how to stay calm at the sight of blood and disembowelment, and how to rely on your fellow warriors. Deemed smarter than the average killer, you were groomed for command and given an education in letters and numbers. With rumors of war, it seemed recruitment into the disfavored legion would be the obvious match for your skills, but the Archon of Justice is known to say that good iron is not used for swords, and good minds are not used for soldiers. Claimed by Tunon, you were instead drafted into the Court of Fatebinders, where your martial skills were put to use in the enforcement of Kairos' laws. Lawbreaker. It might be interesting. We are supposed to be upholding laws, so this might be a good one. Breaking the laws we're meant to uphold? Upholding the laws we're not meant to, maybe? Accused of a crime you most certainly did commit, you stood before Tunon, the adjudicator, Archon of Justice, and argued your case with eloquence and conviction. Impressed by your logic, reason, and confidence, he found you guilty anyway. It is rumored that Tunon selects many of his agents from his prisoners. Who better to catch the wicked than those versed in such ways? In his mercy, Tunon offered you the choice of 2 sentences: decades languishing in prison or a lifetime serving him in the Court of Fatebinders. The choice was an easy one, and instead of seeing the inside of a cell, you were trained in letters and numbers, magic and war. The laws you once broke are now yours to interpret and enforce. That sounds fantastic. I really want that. War Mage. Is this like a paladin of kind? Few have the combination of wits and courage to be accomplished casters and warriors, and those cursed with such combinations of talents are invariably pulled from their mundane lives and assigned to the armies of the Archons. Your earliest memories are a painful slog of training, study, lecture, and exhaustion, all the elements of being groomed for battle. You knew better than to ask what became of your family, nor to question the missives allegedly penned by their hand that were part of your earliest lessons in reading. When you reached adulthood, Tunon the Adjudicator came to the barracks and laid claim to your life, seeing you as too valuable for the crucible of battle. The Archon of Justice deemed your life better spent dedicated to the art of punitive legal remedies. Though you had much to learn in matters of civil discourse, none could deny your bright future as Tunon's next great enforcer. Ooh. I don't want to be a diplomat. A noble scion. Guild apprentice. It's between those 3. Lawbreaker and war mage are definitely more interesting than soldier. Do I want to be the war mage with a bright future as an enforcer, or the lawbreaker meant to interpret and enforce? I think the whole point... No, we don't need a poll for this. I should pick what I liked best, because that gives the best chance for me to give an interesting interpretation of the game. Anyway, Lawbreaker is... yeah, it's Lawbreaker. It's definitely Lawbreaker. It's Lawbreaker. I mean, just the whole concept of tyranny, of interpreting laws, is going to be interesting. Next. Primary expertise: sword and shield, great sword, short bow, shock spells, vigor spells, atrophy spells, frost spells, unarmed attacks, dual wielding, javelin. Sword and shield is what I always go for. Shield, slam, sunder. Okay. Javelin? Thrown weapons. No, I don't really like thrown. Great sword, dual wielding, short bow, unarmed attacks, shock spells, frost spells, vigor spells, sword and shield. And that's so we get Shield Slam. 10 to 15 Crush versus Endurance effects. Sunder. Choose an... oh, I have to choose one. Dazed for 20 seconds. Sundered. What is sundered? Right click for details. Oh, right, okay. So, wielding a sword and shield puts you in the front line of combat, holding between enemies and your allies. Holding a shield will slow down your attack rate slightly, but give you good defensive bonuses. Okay, so crush damage / pierce, primary weapon, sundered for 20 seconds. I don't know what's sundered. There's a powerful overhead attack that reduces the target's armor, dazing them. I like the daze. It's sort of a stun. Secondary expertise, okay. Spear and shield, no. We should go for something a bit more magic-y. Shock spells, frost spells. Vigor spells are atrophy spells. Okay, it's gonna be shock or frost. Usually I would go shock. Mages are skilled in shock magic and frequently interrupt their enemies, preventing them from executing their attack. Frost magic is an offensive school that focuses on slowing enemies as well as dealing cold damage. Vigor is a utility branch of magic. Bonuses to yourself and your allies. Weakening their attacks, making them easier to kill. I actually like... What is this? Fill the target with a surge of greatness, granting them a bonus to might and vitality. No, I kind of... A touch of atrophy? I like boosting myself, not necessarily my allies. Can I use touch abilities on myself? I don't know. Charged Fist. Explosive surge of electrical energy, releasing it all at once on a nearby enemy, interrupting them and sending them flying back. Envelop a target in harsh winter cold, leaving them frozen for a time. I already have Daze as one of my attacks. I like Shock, I think, though. 10 to 15 Shock. 8 to 12 Frost. Cooldown 24 seconds. It's about the same. I think I'm gonna go Shock. Yeah. Just as an aesthetic point of view, I'm thinking Fire Nation. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Next, Banner. Okay, let's start with the shape. So we got a sword and shield. That sort of makes sense, but that looks like more of a sword and shield I would go for. A bit more abstract. Hammer, helmet, stripy things. What draws us in here? That's a little. I don't even know what this is. That looks like worlds things. There's a sun thing, a crossbow, a hand. Hands are cool. Hands are cool. That's a bit too... No, that's... Oh, come on. That's too literal. There's a snake. Oh, we could go for a snake. Yeah. We always go for the snake. Character colors are those. So our banner color should be similar. That we are not going to see that. Can we make this that? This... No, we want the banner red. This, that way. Yes, that way. I do like that color. Do we want white? White's a bit pale, I think. I'm gonna go for this dark red for the banner color. And this, yeah. This yellow is just a nice color. It sort of matches the off-white and the yellows of the whatever I'm wearing. That looks pretty good. Praise the sun, you heretic. Now, I didn't get very far in Dark Souls, so I was unable to praise the sun. On this channel, we tend to go for the snake. It just sort of started since I was born in the year of the snake on the Chinese calendar when I started playing Emperor. Not that I'm particularly into horoscopes or anything, but we had Zakism in Civilization, our religion, which the symbol was a snake as well. So there we go. Makes sense. Next. Enter name. Easy enough. Gamazak. Attributes. Okay, so this is recommended because of your training Sword and Shield, shock spells. So we got 8 points. So it would make sense to... Do we have enough points to up them all? It would make sense to just make these 12. Like, I don't know anything about the game mechanics. That just makes sense based on what it's recommending. So it's fine. Might, finesse, quickness, wits. Mental acuity. Resolve. Finesse, might. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to go for that. Next, skills. We have 20 points available. Weapon skills, magic skills, support skills. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with this. Is there a limit? No, we can just dump it all into one. So this was at 30. We should boost our one-handed weapons. That's what we're going to be doing a lot. Control lightning. Can we boost this up to 30? Okay. We should boost athletics, law, parry up to 30. We got 6 points left. This makes sense to me. Because one-handed weapons will just keep us alive. Subterfuge. Oh, that's sneak. Dodge, okay. This makes sense. Next. I don't want to spend too long here. How do you want to continue? Conquest, quick start. We're not going quick start. Selecting conquest option will allow you to play through Kairos' conquest of the tiers, choosing how your character was involved in the invasion. This gives you... Yes, this is the part that I was talking about earlier, where our choices will change the game world. Oh, fantastic. Let's see what happens.
All the world has fallen to Kairos, and now the Overlord's eye is on the tiers, our home. The last corner of the world free of Kairos' reign. 2 armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior.
Okay, press spacebar to continue. There we go.
In the early days of 428, Kairos' armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment, the mountainous border that we Tiersmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a unified plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tiers sit and wait for each other to deal with the conquerors, until it's too late.
Oh, here we go. Conquest. During the conquest, you will decide your character's actions during Kairos' invasion of the tiers, shaping the world through which you will adventure over the course of the game. Each choice you make affects your character and how major factions of the tiers respond to you. Your decisions matter. Choose wisely. 428 TR, Year 1 of Kairos' conquest. So these are all the places we're going to be visiting as well, right? Oh, that's a cool animation. I like that. The Bastard City. The Bastard City stood on the northern border between Kairos' empire and the Tiers. Built upon a natural harbor at the crossroads between realms, the city was a nexus of commerce. To the Tiers, it was the center of all wealth. To a northerner, it was little more than a backwater trading post. Its symbolic status as a gateway to the continent made it a natural first target in Kairos' military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as a soldier in Kairos' armies. Taking the city would send a message to the rest of the Tiers: Kairos' will is insurmountable. The Bastard City. Select a token on the map to begin. Infiltrate the Tiers. Both armies send their forces to prepare the way. Gates of Judgment. The first major engagement of the war, Kairos' armies cross the mountains and establish a foothold. So I have to look at these two. The armies of Kyrus took the battle to the gates of judgment, trumpeting the opening call of the conquest of the tiers. So this is choosing a side. Join the battle alongside which side? I don't know which side I should favor. The Scarlet Chorus or the Disfavored. Infiltrate. History would remember the Gates of Judgment as the first battle of the conquest, but the real combat unfolded with advance units of both armies preparing for the coming war. Aid the disfavored scouts. Conscript the fighters for the Scarlet Chorus. So I'm not a sneaky person. We're gonna go to the Gates of Judgment, and I think I prefer the evil one. Which one is the evil one? Is it the organized evil one or the disorganized evil ones? Join the battle along the disfavored. I think I'm going to favor the disfavored. The disfavored are the organized ones. Standing shield to shield with Kyrus' Ironclad Elite, you advance the mercenary army purchased by the nobles of the Bastard City. The Legion wanted to send a message to the tiers: superior breeding and disciplined training would win the day. Rushed in the chaotic mass. So I like the disfavored because they would be a bit more predictable. But then I have to think. Because they are predictable, they might make more predictable enemies. So do I want to align myself with the predictable ones or align myself with the unpredictable ones? It's a hard choice. It's a hard choice. Choice number one. Because I don't want to half-ass my way here. If I pick disfavored now, I'm going to pick disfavored all the way through. What does the other one say? Raided villages, small towns, conscripting every... Voices of Nerat. Okay. Elite disfavored scouts capture border garrisons. I like the way the disfavored work better. I'm gonna have the disfavored on my side, because then whatever benefit they come with, I can understand, and I can expect them to follow through with what they're gonna say they do, hopefully. I don't think they're much for subterfuge. The Ironclad Elite. Yep. The Bastard City learned too late that a military is earned and never bought. The mercenary army quickly found themselves outclassed by the superior tactics and formations of the disfavored. Those few who lived to the end of the battle were rounded up, the weak executed, and the strong enslaved to haul the army's wagons on the journey south. Brutal. Another choice. Feeding the host. Against the optimistic projections, the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus made short work of the local defenses. They did so well that the armies quickly outpaced the supply caravan troops. Plentiful but food was scarce. You only had time to execute one plan to secure provisions. Confiscate merchant caravans, pillage farmlands. I can already see the game world changing. No shops, no farms. The soldiers of the tiers fell by the hundreds, and Kyrus' armies could not agree on how to handle what few survivors they dragged back to the camp. Benefiting your role, the commanders turned to you to decide the fate of those who occupied prison pens. There were only enough prisoners to support the plan of a single army. Enslave the enemy, conscript the enemy. Now, I don't want to be someone to run away from choices. So we only get one choice out of 4 options here. I don't know if I ignore feeding the host. Do none of these happen? Or does it randomly select one? I don't know. So do we conscript the enemy or enslave them? confiscate the caravans, pillage the farmlands, enslave the enemy, conscript the enemy. I'm gonna conscript the enemy. You gave the prisoners a chance to serve in Kyrus' army or die. Scarlet Chorus was in need of extra troops to fill the vanguard, and your former enemies... Oh, so this benefits the Scarlet Chorus. This benefits the disfavored, right. Needed slaves to haul their gear. Now, I wanted to go all in on disfavored, but it's the same here. You authorize disfavored troops to confiscate food and supplies from the traveling merchants. Scarlet Chorus send out their hordes of pillage from farms and villagers. I need at least one friend in this world, so it's gotta be the disfavored. So the choice now is between enslaving... We're gonna enslave. Tough choice, but I need a friend in this world. And I don't want to lose out on merchants. Merchants are better for everyone. Wounded and demoralized by prior defeat, the soldiers of the tiers put up minimal resistance to their new status in Kyrus' military. The disfavored enjoyed the luxury of putting others to work, but didn't allow themselves to grow soft, turning away from menial duties and focusing instead on rigorous training regimen that left them alert and eager for combat. You gave the tiers slaves their first assignment, digging a mass grave outside the gates of judgment, where a cloud of flies marked the passage of Kyrus' army. Taking the Bastard City, the armies of Kairos amassed around the Bastard City, the first bastion of the tiers to fall. Both armies longed to storm the walled outpost, the Scarlet Chorus howling for plunder and the disfavored forming an unbreakable shield wall. Your prowess on the field of battle had carried them this far, but there was one more step before total victory. Both the armies had inspired schemes to take the Bastard City. Which did you support? You joined the disfavored vanguard in a direct assault upon the city gates. No fortification would stand before the unstoppable legion. Oh, we get abilities from this. Warrior's Respite, 1 per encounter. Stand your ground in the face of defeat. During this time, you'll regenerate health rapidly, but your damage is significantly reduced. Plus 15% health every 3 seconds for 12 seconds. Huh, that's a good one. You joined the Scarlet Chorus, setting fire to the cities. Searing Palm. You led a mixed band. Concealing Shadows, Graze Deflection, Accuracy, Dodge, Parry. I'm gonna go disfavored again. I like this ability. And I'm going disfavored, so... With heroic courage and legendary determination, the disfavored battered the gates of the Bastard City to splinters. Those who fell under the consistent hail of arrows or cascades of boiling pitch left the battlefield temporarily, only to appear hours later as Archon Graven Ash. Protection healed their numerous wounds. In time, the gates gave way and Kyrus' forces spilled inside the city's walls with resounding cheers of victory. Breaking the Bastard City. The Bastard City settled into a new state of normalcy, with every tower displaying Kyrus' banner. Your name was whispered alongside rumors of a decorated career to come. The armies divided into 2 fronts and migrated south. Tunon sent word that you were to join the next frontier of Kyrus' conquest, either as judge and overseer of the settlements of Lethian's Crossing, or as a war advisor with the armies advancing into the realms of Apex. Now, I'd like to go a bit more diplomacy here. Deposits of iron made the southern Lethian's Crossing strategic war asset. Troops, mountains, realms. So we've already done a very militaristic thing here. I'm gonna go to Lethian's Crossing as a judge and overseer. For 29 TR, year 2 of Kyrus' conquest. Years ago, Lethian the Bold founded a small merchant town at the intersection of ancient old walls. A pact between the settlers and a mercenary company meant that the caravans were able to travel without fear of bandits or bane, and the town thrived in modest insignificance. Lethian's crossing drew Kairos' attention for the iron deposits in the surrounding hills. With the region under Kairos' control, the northern smith mages could set up workshop to refine ore and arm the disfavored with the finest weapons in the known world. The Archon of Secrets dismantled the mercenary support with a generous bribe, taking the crossing in a bloodless victory. Tunon dispatched you to travel alongside Kairos' forces to bring order to the region. Okay, what are our 4 choices here? Syrian, the Archon of Song, used her arcane charm to lure locals into joining Kairos' army as a patroness of the Scarlet Chorus. Her efforts were critical in the conscription of new recruits. With an enthralled, disfavored soldier joined her. Her company feared that the Archon was growing out of control and needed to be stopped. Destroy Syrian's cult. You send Syrian's cult to the Vanguard. Okay, what's the other choice? Kairos' smith mages worked day and night to create weapons. No one faulted their dedication, yet production was low. The plans that came to light proved divisive to the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus. On the one hand, any additional manpower was needed for fighters, not forgers. On the other hand, the celebrated weaponry of Kairos' armies needed to be fiercely guarded. Draw from the Scarlet Chorus recruits. Conscript a tribe of beastmen. The disfavored... Ooh, this is a tough choice. The choice is whether to destroy a cult or not. And this cult sounds quite interesting. Or... I'm less interested with about who gets what weapons, and I don't want to run away from choices. Syrian, Archon of Song. Okay, so this arcane charm. She used her charm to lure locals into joining Kairos' armies. As a patron of the Scarlet Chorus, her efforts were critical to the conscription of new recruits. When an enthralled, disfavored soldier joined her cult, his company feared that the Archon was growing out of control and needed to be stopped. So this person is helping Kairos' army. Lure locals into joining Kairos' army. But in their effort, it sounds like the Archon of Song might be getting too powerful. I'm gonna deviate a little bit. I've done a lot for the disfavored so far, but I don't think the Cult of Syrian should be wiped out just yet. I'm gonna go with the Scarlet Chorus here. So I'm not gonna go all out disfavored blindly. That would not be making choices. This is a difficult choice. It's gonna slightly upset the disfavored, but maybe we'll avoid being complete enemies of the Scarlet Chorus. We'll try and make it up to the disfavored somewhere else. The Scarlet Chorus agreed to transfer Syrian's latest recruits to the front lines of the Apex campaign. Your resolution fit their traditional model of conscription, so they considered it a fair alternative. In the weeks to come, more of them returned to active duty than even Syrian herself expected, likely owing to their obsessive devotion to the Archon and her enchanting music. I look forward to meeting the Cult of Syrian in Lethian's Crossing. I look forward to what's going on there. Next choice. A red anvil. One of Kairos' smith mages swore allegiance to the Scarlet Chorus, jealously hoarding the secrets of iron forging. The disfavored demanded the smith's immediate return. The Scarlet Chorus insisted that they were within their rights to take allegiance from any source. Tempers flared. Enslave them? Erase their memory. Wow. Force them to work or wipe their minds. What's the other choice? Ancient threats. Drawn to the arcane energy around the forges, mystical predators from the nearby old walls began to raid Lethian's Crossing at all hours. Both of Kairos' armies reserved their strength for the front lines of the war, and yet the city required protection. You had to delegate the responsibilities somewhere. As the largest army, you tasked the Scarlet Chorus with the burden of security. The disfavored took the opportunity to gather their strength. Since the disfavored used the most of the iron that came out of Lethian's Crossing, it fell to them to stand as the city's vigilant protectors. The Scarlet Chorus enjoyed a necessary reprieve. I'm not too concerned. Again, I'm not too concerned about weapons here. This is the defense of the city. And I'm going to favor the disfavored here. I tasked the Scarlet Chorus with the burden of security. Yeah, this is gonna make it up to the disfavored for me. So we'll keep the disfavored to gather their strength. Now, I have a feeling I'm going to regret favoring one side too much, because the disfavored could just end up way too powerful. But we're gonna go for it. At your command, the Scarlet Chorus flooded the streets of Lethian's Crossing. That doesn't sound like a good thing. Infighting and competition among the unruly gangs made for disorganized patrols and distracted lookouts. However, when an ominous tide of Old Wall's predators assaulted the city in previously unseen numbers, it took the full force of the Scarlet Chorus to repel the attacks. At least they could repel it. Who controlled the crossing? Tragedy struck when a mercenary hired by the Voices of Nerat injured a forge-bound artisan, leaving him unable to practice his craft. Tunon ordered the mercenaries to leave the city in the hands of Kyrus's more responsible servants. Only a token garrison could be left behind while the armies returned to the front. As the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus showed increasing tension and hostility towards each other, Tunon decreed it is best that only one force control the crossing. Who controlled the crossing? Lethian's Crossing to the disfavored. Lethian's Crossing to Scarlet Chorus. So Scarlet Chorus is currently watching the city, right? Right? That's what they're doing. And this crossing could be very important for me. And I'm gonna grant it to the disfavored. The disfavored placed a modest garrison in the settlement of Lethian's Crossing. Though the force was larger than might needed to police the small settlement, protecting the forge-bound ironsmiths became a true agenda of the defense force, as these magical craftsmen kept the disfavored invasion force suited in iron. Relieved at the departure of the Scarlet Chorus, the citizens of Lethian's Crossing felt they got the least of two burdens. You received word. Oh, so maybe the Scarlet Chorus moved on. Right. So we used the Scarlet Forest to fight off those monsters, and then we left a garrison of disfavored. That's exactly what I wanted. That's perfect. You received word from Graven Ash, thanking you for your decision. The forge-bound and their weaponry could not be entrusted to the Voices of Nerat. Okay. And that is Lethian's Crossing. Lethian's Crossing, 429 TR. With the mercenaries expelled and Lethian's Crossing under new leadership, Kyrus's forces congratulated themselves on bringing order to the settlement and guaranteeing a productive flow of resources. Over the course of this diversion, the army front advanced further into the tiers. Their skills were needed in the realm of Azure, Stalwart, or the Vellum Citadel. Huh. Vellum Citadel. This is Kyrus's conquering gaze fell upon the Vellum Citadel, its treasures, its knowledge, its secrets. Stalwart. With its easily defended position and rich military tradition, the realm of Stalwart was the most formidable realm in the tiers, or Azure. Kyrus dispatched the Archon of Stone to subjugate the nation of Azure. Huh. So this is the military bastion, basically. This is some secrets place. And this is what looks like a farmland. I'm actually going between the bastion and the farmland. And Azure sounds nice. It might be a nice break from all the other places. Because we had that military conquest there. We had this sort of managerial role here. I'm usually less interested in going in for secrets and treasures and stuff like that. I think I'm going to have a look at Azure. The nation of Azure looks like an agricultural nation. Let's go have a look at them. It doesn't tell us much about Azure. It doesn't really tell us much about anything. And dispatching the Archon of Stone to subjugate the nation of Azure. Yeah, it tells us least about Azure, but it's a big land. It's right in the middle. Let's have a look. We're gonna go there. Maybe some nice 430 TR, year 3 of Kairos' conquest. I'm hoping it's a nice little farm area that will give us a little break from the rest of the burning wasteland. The nation of Azure, once the richest settlement of the tiers, sat on a verdant, fertile plain. As the disfavored clashed with Azure's defenders, the Scarlet Chorus contended against the region's tribal beastmen. This is where the beastmen that was mentioned earlier come from, who protected their ancestral lands with incredible fury. Kairos dispatched the Archon Cairn to break the stalemate and force Azure into submission. The colossal man of stone and flesh arrived as instructed, but earning his cooperation was a tall order, even for you. Okay, what are our choices here? The Destruction of Azure. Cain, the Archon of Stone, carved a deadly path through Azure, using his powers to blight the land. Oh, I guess we might not get a nice farmland then. The Scarlet Chorus complained that his tactics left no farmland to feed the growing army. Since Cairn marched with the disfavored, the Scarlet Chorus held the legion responsible for the destruction and lost harvests. Dismissed the complaints. Ordered the disfavored to replace the destroyed farmlands. Hey, we can get our farms. Stalked by the shadows. After a roaming pack of beastmen slaughtered a disfavored patrol, the Scarlet Chorus responded by laying claim to the beasts for their army, while the disfavored readied a company to enact vengeance. The disfavored legion considered the beasts beyond taming, and the butchers of the Northern Brethren need to be brought to justice. We're gonna favor with the Scarlet Chorus here, and we're gonna get our farmlands back. Order the disfavored to replace the destroyed farmlands. Yes, we're gonna do that. Oh, Mrs. Gamezak has come back.
Hi.
Hi.
Have you had dinner?
Sort of, yes.
Please don't tell me it's windy.
No, it's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, the fruits guy came and he was looking for you, and I said you weren't around. And then he said you were at home, right? I was like, yeah, but no. Remember the last time I bought you fruits?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Is it okay if I play?
Yeah. You can use earphones if anything.
Yeah, but I might yell.
Okay, well, yeah. Not too much.
Oh, I'm sorry. I rage. How long will you be?
Another hour?
Okay. I don't know when I'll crash because it's been a long day.
Alright.
Okay, bye.
Alright.
Won't be too long.
Yeah. She's off to play Overwatch. The Destruction of Azure. At Cairn's rate of destruction, the lands of Azure would soon be unable to sustain crops, but Kairos wanted a conquered land, not a barren wasteland. Exactly. That's my thinking. Why conquer and destroy everything in your path? Because then you've conquered nothing. The Scarlet Chorus voiced these concerns and you backed them, going so far as to enlist disfavored mages for aid, though loath to pause their studies and focus on agriculture. So their understanding of agriculture is lessened. The mages grudgingly assented and traveled with the rear guard, working to heal the land as they went. We got our farms. Fantastic. Cairn's madness. The Archon of Stone refused to rejoin the war camp, loudly denying Kyrus' claim over Azure. Nothing less than a full unit of soldiers could subdue the treasonous Archon, yet neither army was willing to risk lives tracking him down. You delivered the order that sent Kyrus' forces marching after Cairn. Huh. Okay, what's the other choice? Forced into the fray. The Archon of Stone went missing during the campaign. As disfavored mages busied themselves with the search for Cairn, the Scarlet Chorus forced the mages into combat against their will, during which 2 were slain. Furious at the waste of trained specialists, the disfavored demanded that the Scarlet Chorus be punished. Free the mages, side with the Scarlet Chorus. Huh. I'm more interested in tracking down the Archon of Stone. And I think in this case, usually the one you pick is the one you're favoring, right? And I want to favor the disfavored in this choice. When the Cairn brought them to victory, the disfavored hailed him as one of their number. With Cairn defied the will of the Overlord, it fell to the disfavored to track him down and get answers. Yeah, so if I understand these buttons correctly, this is siding with the disfavored, and I trust the disfavored to find him better. I'm gonna say, send them. Subduing a wayward Archon was a larger task than rank-and-file soldiers could manage on their own. The disfavored scouts returned to camp after a long journey, bearing news of irregular rock formations and beastmen chanting Cairn's name. They found neither hide nor hair of the Archon of Stone, but his presence and impact on the Azure's wilderness were evident. Unease spread through the army as Kyrus' forces wondered what Cairn's actions could mean. Huh. I don't think the Scarlet Chorus could have done a better job. The Edict of Stone. The Archon of Stone made brazen declarations that Kyrus had no claim to the rule of the Tears. Soon after, word arrived that Kyrus would dispatch this rebellious minion with an edict. The disfavored took solace in knowing the edict was coming, and the commanders petitioned you to be the bearer of justice. Tunon selected you for the honor of proclaiming Kyrus' edict of Stone, a magical spell with the power to destroy the Archon. As he sensed his approaching doom, Cairn began an assault on Plainsgate, the largest human settlement of the area. It fell to you to send Kyrus' forces into a suicide mission to halt Cairn's destruction while you completed the proclamation of the edict. Knowing there was little chance of survival, you ordered this favor to march against the Archon of Stone as he neared the city of Plainsgate. You hoped that the elite of Kyrus' armies would delay Cairn. Believing that there was a slight chance that the superior numbers could hold off the Archon of Stone, you sent a Scarlet Chorus to delay Cairn's march on Plainsgate. I don't think sending either faction to their doom is beneficial, but this is a mixer, right? You believe that the only chance of slowing Cairn's assault was to commit the full force of Kyrus' armies against him. It was a desperate gamble. If you were wrong, there would be no one left alive to warn the other Archons of your failure. Still, you ordered the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus. I guess we're sending the chorus. I'm not gonna send our entire army to die. We have to send the chorus, yeah? The chorus are gonna hate me. I would send both, but I'm trying to have a friend in this world. I'm trying to have a friend. And the disfavored are a bit more reliable in that regard. We're gonna send the Scarlet Chorus. Sorry about that. The Scarlet Chorus went to battle wearing fierce grins. How often did they get to attack an Archon? Soon enough, their war songs twisted into shrieks of terror. Plains gates still remained, but not after facing significant damage. You blocked it all out as you read the Edict of Stone. The earth under the battlefield groaned open, spitting up outcroppings of rock and obliterated the surrounding landscape for miles. From your vantage in the vanguard, the screams of the chorus continued without end. When the land heaved open to take Cairn, the Archon allowed it with serene acceptance. Difficult choices. It's gonna need some rebuilding. Vaduva Stefan asks, am I trying to be the good guy? I don't know if there is a good guy in this story. I'm doing what I think is best. I'm on my side. With the lands blighted and unrecognizable, the realm of Azure was left utterly ruined by the events of the war. In the time to come, the Tears would call this blasted region the Stone Sea, for the treacherous rock formations and persistent quakes became the defining feature of this once verdant land. The Scarlet Chorus established a sprawling camp in the shattered rocky terrain and quickly absorbed those displaced by the upheaval of the land. These hapless refugees were put to work as slaves and soldiers, and the Chorus slowly built themselves a makeshift fortress in the blighted, quake-ridden realm. The Scarlet Chorus has a fortress there, and we sent them to their deaths. Though we did side with them on the farms. They have farms, thanks to me. Your tour of duty in the broken lands of Azure was complete. You didn't have a long rest before Tunon called you into service once more. Good. Another place? Conquest complete. You have reached the end of Kairos' conquest. Do you want to continue or erase your progress and start over? We're gonna continue. Did it. We got through the conquest. Character creation complete.
The year is 431, and Kairos' invasion has shattered all major opposition in the tiers. The Younger Realms, the Bastard Tier, the Free Cities. All who defied Kairos lay broken by battle, or bowed in surrender. The two armies of the Overlord, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, now control our lands.
I tried to pick a side. Not sure if it worked out.
But our will is not yet extinguished. Not entirely. In the Valley of Vendrian's Well, those of us unwilling to bow to Kairos have banded together in defiance. Violating an oath of surrender from 2 years prior, we have staged a bloody uprising, murdering the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus garrison in a midnight assault. With their main forces spread across the tiers, the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus redeploy to Vendrian's Well to crush the resistance. But months pass with no definitive battle. As disagreement and discord paralyze the Archons, we bide our time and wait for our message of insurrection to spread across the tiers. The Overlord is not amused, and Kairos has one message for the Archons: crush the Oathbreakers or die. Kairos backs this threat with an edict, a magical commandment that can slay all in the valley should the order be ignored. The honor of proclaiming this edict fell to you. Sent across the mountains to Vendrian's Well, you carry the Overlord's edict to read before the Archons. As you finally make your way through the winding mountain passes into the valley, the ground trembles, and Kairos' magic seals the way behind you. You are trapped in Vendrian's Well, with Kairos' armies and the Oathbreakers. The only way to survive is to fulfill the terms of the Overlord's edict, in any way that you can.
That's a tough situation. Oh, that looks gorgeous. Fatebinder Gamerzak, I presume. We've been expecting you. Character creation complete. This is a main quest only playthrough, and that was basically the first quest done. Episode 0 set. So, we're gonna take a break here. We have actually started gameplay, and I will be right back. Let's take a quick break for me to just process all of that story and information. Hope you're enjoying it. My name's Gamerzak. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be right back.